Hi, I'm Jack, and welcome back because my first movie review of this year is going to be none other than the newly released movie by Joel Coen, The Tragedy of Macbeth. It stars Denzel Washington and Frances McDormand as Macbeth and Lady Macbeth, and it is a retelling and another movie based off of the Shakespearean story of Macbeth. But before we get started, don't forget to follow me on social media. My username is down below at the bottom of the screen and in the description below, so don't forget to do that while you're at it. And this is a non-spoiler review for any of you guys that are worried about it. And with those two things out the way, let's get started. This is a retelling of the iconic Shakespeare story of Macbeth, which follows a Scottish lord who has been told by a trio of witches that he is destined and fated to become the next king of Scotland, and that his wife, Lady Macbeth, will do anything to help Macbeth seize power and become the king. This was a really great movie. I thought it does a great job at telling the story once again with Macbeth, and I thought the acting was fantastic, especially Denzel Washington, who cannot do any wrong. He is a powerhouse as Macbeth, and because it is actually a very dialogue-heavy movie, and so there's a lot of that in this movie, I do think Denzel was so captivating to watch. I really loved just seeing him portray Macbeth, and he does a great job showcasing Macbeth, like, as he just descends, because when he becomes king, and as he becomes king, he gets just more just darker and stuff, and I thought Denzel was just phenomenal, and he is just a fantastic actor in general, so I absolutely loved him in this movie. Frances McDormand is great as Lady Macbeth, although she doesn't have as much screen time as Denzel does, but when she's on screen, she is also captivating to watch as well. I thought she does a great job with her scenes, especially with the line delivery and just working around all these set pieces, and I really liked her a lot in this movie. She's very great to watch, and a standout of this movie is none other than Kathryn Hunter, who plays the witches, like all three of them actually. I thought she was great, and I really liked Hawkins, who plays Macduff. I thought those two were also standouts alongside Denzel and Frances, and I thought just in general they were really great performances. And because it's a dialogue heavy movie and it is very much requires you to have known like what you know about the story and Shakespeare and all that, I thought they did a great job at making me engaged and captivated to watch this movie. The cinematography by Bruno Del Bonell is absolutely mesmerizing. I think it's also elevated because while the shots itself are really great, I also love how with this movie they had it told in the 4:3 ratio format, which a movie you would know that's like that would be Zack Snyder's Justice League, and that is also in black and white. And I thought a lot of these cinematography shots are beautiful. It gives you what to focus on, the locations and the set pieces and the doors and the built rooms that all these characters are in. I think they're very well shot, really great shots here and there from start to finish. And even the transitioning scenes from one scene to the next are seamless. Like, there's really great transitioning from a scene with Macbeth to a scene with another character. There is a few in particular. There's one in the first half of the movie between Macbeth as the first scene and how it transitions to another scene with Lady Macbeth, I thought is absolutely phenomenal. I loved how they did that. A lot of the transitions are very clever, very well done, and they were executed really well. I thought just how this movie looks, it's a really good looking movie. And a lot of these shots look like they could be paintings or just frames hung up on somebody's wall. They are really great to look at. Because Joel Coen is directing this movie by himself, he is one of two Coen brothers because his brother Ethan Coen did not come back to direct this movie. I thought Joel did a great job directing this movie on his own. He did a great job executing the story, making sure it goes the way he wants it to. And I was really invested in the direction he was taking this version of the story, and I thought he did a great job at it. And I just love just how he was able to tell this story and make sure all of these characters' arcs go the way he wants it to with Macbeth, Macduff, and all these other characters. And I thought he did a phenomenal job at it. And now, because this is a great job to see him work on a movie all by himself. So I think he did a really good job doing that with The Tragedy of Macbeth. Carter Burwell composes the score of this movie, and I thought the score of the film is very haunting and chilling, and it easily fits the mood and what I should be feeling during all of these scenes. I thought it's really great, especially when the witches are on screen, or whether it's Macbeth and his descent into madness as he is the king. And just with all these characters, I thought the score just sounds great. It perfectly fits the mood, the tone, it fits what they're trying to tell, and it feels right. And I just love each of these scores that play over the course of the movie. I think it's very well composed, and it's just a really great score that feels very haunting as this movie goes on, knowing what happens as the story of Macbeth continues. Any issues that could be found with this movie is that the middle of the movie can be pretty slow paced, even though it's only 1 hour and 45 minutes. So it's not that long of a movie. I certainly did not feel like it was dragging, but there are some moments where in the middle of the movie it feels like it's maybe just some scenes take a little while to go on or to last. And I think maybe some of that could have been just trimmed just a teeny tiny bit, because it is, for the most part, it's a very well-paced movie, especially with the runtime it has. And that the other thing is, unless you're a Shakespeare fan or you're just into the story of Macbeth, this movie might not do anything for you, because it is also a very dialogue-heavy movie. So if you love movies where a lot of it is through dialogue and it tells this kind of story, this movie's for you. But if you're not into Shakespeare or very dialogue-heavy movies, this movie might not be for you. But I genuinely love this movie. I think it's probably my favorite iteration of Macbeth in film. I loved what Joel Coen was able to do with this movie, and I thought the acting was fantastic, especially from Denzel Washington. And production design, the cinematography work are phenomenal. Really gorgeous looking movie, and it is elevated due to it being in black and white and also the 4:3 ratio formatting. And I absolutely really enjoyed this movie, and it's definitely worth your watch if you are a fan of Shakespeare. So in the end, I'm going to give The Tragedy of Macbeth an A. And I definitely recommend it if you are a fan of Shakespeare and Macbeth. So yeah, if you've seen the movie, let me know down below in the comments section. I'd love to hear your thoughts on it down below. And yep, really enjoyed this movie on Apple TV+. So if you can, check it out. I think it's worth your time. And thank you guys so much for watching. And don't forget to hit that like button and the subscribe button. And stay tuned for more.
I have no words. My voice is in my sword.